Welcome to the Great British Crochet Off, where every single week I crochet something inspired by an episode of the Great British Bake Off. And today we are covering the Season 15 premiere, Episode 1, Cake Week. I am delighted to be back to crochet another season of the Great British Bake Off. I took a little late summer break, and now my mind is refreshed, my inspiration is refreshed, my yarn stock is refreshed, and I'm ready to crochet another season. As always, if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy Bake Off, if you enjoy crocheting, or if you just enjoy cute stuff, please like, share, follow. It helps so much when these videos perform well. It helps me continue to do them. So let's get to the premiere of this series of Bake Off. As always, we'll not be discussing who left or who got Star Baker. I will be discussing these specific challenges. So if you haven't watched this week's episode yet, you can hit this little bookmark button and save this until after you've watched this week's episode of the Great British Bake Off, which for my US friends is available on Netflix, and for my UK friends is available on Channel 4. And as I said, this was Cake Week. We almost always start with Cake Week. There was like one time where we didn't. I think we started with Biscuit Week, and it was just weird. And the challenges were, first they had to make a loaf cake in like whatever their signature flavor is. The technical was a totally new take on a technical where it was a taste and bake. So instead of getting like a pared down recipe like they usually get for the technical, they got a Battenberg cake that they had to taste. They had like 5 minutes with it, and then they had to try and recreate the Battenberg based on having just tasted it. And last but not least, our showstopper was a hyper-realistic illusion cake. And this week I was inspired by Sumaya's awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping, hyper-realistic duck cake. This is Pato the duck. So when I started doing this, I knew in advance I would not be able to do justice to her creation. That was one of the best and my favorite illusion cakes I've ever seen, bar none. I'm talking like all of those like, is it cake or is it not kind of illusion things you see all over TikTok and everything. No, this was the best. That duck looked like it was about to get up off that cake and walk away. So I did my best to recreate that duck in yarn. So here is my version of Pato the duck. But of course, this is the Great British Crochet Off. So Pato the duck isn't just an adorable crochet duck. He is also a container. I originally made this with the intention of having this to hold my extra like knitting needles and crochet hooks back there, and it doesn't exactly work for that purpose because I would have had to make the duck way bigger than I wanted, but he is going to be the container for something magical will be contained in here in my home. I love him. Again, I don't think I did as well as she did, but I'm still very happy with my interpretation. I'm just knocking over the literal tent here, guys. So this was my entry for Cake Week. I hope you guys are happy. I hope you guys are proud. I hope no one is. I hope everyone knew that I was gonna do, if you watched this episode and you watched the Great British Crochet Off, you knew I was gonna do something around the duck cake, right? Like it would have been criminal not to. So that finishes us out for Cake Week. I will see you guys next week for Biscuit Week, and I cannot wait to see what we get to make next. I'm sorry, Paul and Prue. Please don't hold it against me this week.